Hello, all my friends. Nice to meet you all again. With you today, Mohammed Riyad. I am going to make a walkthrough for the project number 6, the restaurant review stage 1. We will go with this in details, step by step, how you can get through and how you can make everything work online and offline, how we can register the sex worker and how to make it scope, how to make the site full responsive and how to make it full accessible. Okay, so I will start with you by sharing my screen for this project. Okay, now as you can see, we have two types of this project we have to use, or we can use one of them. Uh, we can use the old one using the Google Maps, or using the new one using the Leaflet maps. It's all up to you. When you go to the website and in the GitHub, you can choose which one you would like to download from the main master. I will walk through each one of them step by step, how to make each one work and everything. Okay, so what should we do first to make this project run? First, we have to install Python in our machine. So we have to make that. We have Python installed. And please, when you install Python, try to make sure that you add Python here. Make sure to add Python to your path. Otherwise, you will not be able here. You should be able to add Python to your environment variables. Otherwise, you will not be able to use Python. This is very important step when installing Python. So make sure you make a check mark for this one. Okay. So after you make this check mark, click install, and Python will be installed as a variable in your system. Okay, so what shall we do else after installing Python in our environment? The next thing after Python, we need to make the project run. Okay, how can we do this? Okay, let's go to our project folder again. So like this, we can run the live server by typing this command python-m http.server port 8000. Like this, we have Python running on our machine, and we are now serving on port 8000 like this. All what we have to do is to open our browser on this port by typing localhost 8000 and make sure that everything is running and Python is serving. Okay, so let's do this now. We will open. We will open our browser now and navigate to localhost 8000. Let me show you. I'm sorry. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have the Google Maps on the screen with the browser list, with the restaurant list, I'm sorry, in the bottom of the page. Here you can see everything is on place and everything is working now. We have been serving our project from the Python server and everything is working on your screen. We have the map markers, restaurant pictures, everything is on place. Okay, so this is the first step or the main step to make your project for this now. So what else shall we do? Okay, the next thing, we shall work on the making this website responsive. Okay, to make this website responsive, you have two ways to make it. The first one is using media query. The second one is using Flexbox. Okay, let me share what I have done to make this site fully responsive using, I have been using Flexbox for this website. So let me share you my code and everything I have done. Okay, so now you have seen this is my project files. Here, as you can see, I have been doing everything here. So we have first to start with the navigation tab at the top. We have to display flex and align items center. So like this, we will have the text in the center of the page for the restaurant name, and for the breadcrumb, we don't need to do anything for this. And now we should go to the restaurant filtering, where we have the both of the drop boxes of the selections. We need to make it display flex within row and justify content to center, uh, like this. We will be having something like that on our screen. Let me show you what we are going to be having on our screen when we do this. Now, here, as you can see, I have the main restaurant in the center of the page for the header, and the filter results are in the center of the Flexbox container. So like this, I have these posts working with Flexbox very fine and working very good for your website. So when I minimize them, as you can see, they keep with me till I do it minimized. Like this, I have it now fully responsive using the mighty Flexbox. Okay, so this is for the top part. What about this area? What about these restaurants? How can I make these responsive and make the images responsive? Okay, let's go back to our code and let me show you how we have done this also responsive. Okay, here in our code, we have the restaurant listing. I have been using to display flex, and the flex direction will be low, and flex wrap will be wrap. Justify content will be center. So like this, I am displaying the whole container in flex box, and have been choosing the row to be my direction for this flex box, and to make the flex wrap like wrap. So when I minimize the screens, then the break content will be to the new line in my screen, and justify content center. So everything will be in the center of my container. Like this, we have made the restaurant list responsive, and also they are going to be with my screen. And for the restaurant image, we have to make the max width to 100%, and to the minimum width to 100%, and to the minimum height to 248 pixels. Like this, we have the images corresponding with us will be cascading and grading, shrinking with us smaller and bigger as much as we can be doing this. Okay, so let me show how it's working in the layer view. So as you can see now, I have three main restaurants in my main screen, and when I try to minimize the page like this, I will be having one restaurant, two restaurants on the main view, three restaurants on the main view. So this is what I have done with using Flexbox Wrap. It will make my page fully responsive, so whenever I try to shrink the page, the mini space will be shrinking with me as well. So this is the main concept for making this page fully responsive, just small few steps to make it working and responsive. So what about the next page? The view details page of the restaurant. We need this page also to be full responsive and to shrink with us on our main screen. So to make this also responsive, I will walk through its code in my application again to tell you everything step by step how we have done also responsive. Okay, here also, just wait. So here for the page of the restaurant the details, we need to make here we have to make the map container and the main header fixed with the Z index, the footer, the image width, and the restaurant address. Here for the container, the width is 90%. Here the restaurant container, it has to be display flex and flex direction to be column. And here for the review, I have display flex and flex direction will be row and flex wrap will be wrap. And for each element child for this review list, I am making it responsive also. And now making responsive using the media query. So the inside will be flex with row. Everything now will be working with us on our screen. Remember, we have to make it in small screens. We need to use the order method for our flexbox. So we have the header and navigation for the order 0. The breadcrumb will have the order of 1. The map container will have the order of 2. So the inside restaurant container will have the order of 3. Like this, we have the footer will be the order of 4. With this order, we will be able to do something like this. Here, as you can see, now it's very responsive on the main page. So let's make it shrink it more smaller. Here, as you can see, in small screens, we have the main header with the order 0. The breadcrumb has become the order of 1. The main map has been the third one on the page. So also the mission or the restaurant information details have been taken the orders and the footer have been the order number 4. Like this, we made the main restaurant information page responsive with the Flexbox in small steps. Whenever I try to shrink the page, it will keep the main content in page with no problem. So this is how we solve our main problem for being responsive. Okay, so what else we need to do to make our page for accessibility? Okay, for accessibility, we have one big tool in our Chrome DevTools, which is called the audit tool. All what you have to do is to just like this. Use inspect, navigate to the audit tab, and from the audit tab, you just have to uncheck all of this and just remain the accessibility part and then run audits. It will be showing you something like this. Your page will be restarted and will be refreshing. Now, as you can see, it gives me the total number of accessibility of have was 80% like this, and also will be informing you which are missing to add details for to make your accessibility fully accessible like this. It's telling you the map iframe needing to be adding having a title, and also for the element that have is associated labels like Dropbox. These two don't have the associated labels for them. If you have anything else missing, it will be shown here on your screen. You just follow this guide step by step and you will be able to achieve a big number of accessibility for your page. So what is our main rule of accessibility we need to use? We have to use accessibility for our header. All our non-segment semantic tags need to have the area label tag. Like the drop downs, we need to provide them with labels. By assigning the label for, we need to assign it for the selection. I'll show you my code again. Excuse me. Okay, here is my code. For the Dropbox, I have been using a label assigned by rule 4. I have the neighborhood select, which is the name of the select of the dropdown. So I have assigned this label for this rule. And for the second cousin, I have assigned another one. Like this, I have assigned two labels for my dropdowns for this part. And for the restaurant, we need to assign every rule like this. And beside this, we need to provide the alt for images on your page. Okay, like how we will pass the alt for images in our page. We have two different ways to assign the images alt text to the page. The first one by using the main JavaScript. We have the function that creates the restaurant HTML. We have already an image variable with the class name restaurant image. We have the image.source from the DB helper. All what we have to do is to assign image with alternative text with any other value you would like to add, beside anything else you would like to add. Here I assign the image alternative text with the restaurant name. What else can I do than this? You can simply go to your JSON file. Let me open my JSON file here from data and the restaurant.json. You have the full information about each restaurant. All what you will be having to do, simply add a new line in this file like this. and you will add something like image dash up and passing it the value main image value. Like this, we have passed a new value to our project, to our data. We can call it back from our function to make it work on screen. So you have the both ways to make this page work and to pass the image alternative text to the images in your main page. Choose the way you prefer to do this. So like this now we have made our project two things. One of them fully responsive, the second one fully accessible. Okay, what else can we use for the area rules for our page? We can use the tab index. Tab index is very important to make you click and walk through each part of the project so you can use your keyboard instead of your mouse to navigate in your page. The tab index will start by tab index 0, increasing by 1 on each main element you will use. How we can do this, let me show you. Like the main GS bar here in the main GS, sorry, in the index HTML, we have the header. We will just write and to add tab index, we will pass it the value of 0. So the main content like this, we will pass the tab index with the value of 1. So for this section, we will pass the tab index with the value of 2, and so on. Like this, we have the tab index for our page working very fine, and we can now navigate on our page using our main order of navigation, which we are going to use like this. Everything will be working fine for us while we are trying to use our navigation for the main page. We will do the same thing exactly on the restaurant info HTML here in the navigation of the header. We will add also tab index with the ID of 0, and for the breadcrumb we will add the tab index with the ID with the number 1, and with each number we will increment like this. You have also set the accessibility bar for this project. So what else we have to do to make this project fully working? Nothing more. All what we need just to have it on the main page, fully responsive using media queries and Flexbox, for accessibility using the area rules, and for the tab index to navigate through page. Okay, so we have here section. We need to add the area rule like this. Area dash rule. We will call it map area. Like this, we have assigned our area rule for every place, or for any place we would like to assign it with our project to make it fully responsive. So we have now the last step. how to make this project work offline. Okay, to make this project work offline, we have also to use the service worker. How we can make this work offline using the service worker? Okay, to make the website work offline using the service worker, you need to make it first register. We need to register the service worker using the cached files we are going to use to make it offline, and how we will handle the offline request between online and offline of the page. Okay, to register the service worker, all you have to do simply on your main JS file like this, just navigate to the bottom. We will do like this. If our service worker in navigator like this, we are checking our browser if he have a service worker enabled or not supporting service worker. So if our project is supporting service worker, I will register my service worker on Navigator and by passing my service worker path to the page. So here, after putting the path of the service worker, we need to register it. After register installing, we are waiting. After waiting, will be activated. After activating, we need to make sure it has been registered, and we will let the console show the scope of the service worker which has been registered for and how it will be working now. So we will use the registration of scope. Like this, we will have the scope shown on our main console, and we need to use our catch function to handle any errors happen on our service worker. So like this, I have the service worker here, as you can see, on the root of my application. Let me minimize everything for you to be able to see. Here, as you can see, the service worker is in the root beside the index HTML. Why we need to add the service worker to the root of the application? To have a global scope on over all your files and transaction on the project. Again, I will say it slowly. We need to register the service worker on the scope of the page to make sure that our service worker is going to handle every request we do between the page and the server. If the service worker is inside any folder in our application, it will only have the scope for that folder only. It will not show the entire project, only the scope of this folder only. So make sure put your service worker registration as the root of the project. So what do we need to handle on our project for caching to make this project work offline? So let me open my service worker like this. First, I will use my URL to cache, which URLs I need to be cached to make my page work offline. I need to cache the root of my application with the restaurant page, with the styles, the data, and the entire images I have for the 10 restaurants I have, the main JS file, the restaurant info file, and the DB helper file. So these are the main registration files or the main files you can register for your scope to work or to handle traffic to and out of them. So then we will install the service worker and we will add the cache with our URL to cache. Again, so we need to cache our files in our page. So like this, we will be able to handle it on our page. So everything will be cached on our files. After this, we have to activate our service worker and make sure it's every time it gets registered, it will delete the old cache name and create a new cache name for our project. Then fetch the request of the response. If it's offline, it will handle the return of the request to the main page. Like this, we have handled the request to the service worker to work offline, and we have cached all our files to the main service worker. So let us see how we can see this on our browser and how can handle everything. So I will show you now my browser. I will share it with you. Here, as you can see, I have the service worker here, my project. I will do the inspect, check my console. Here you can have, here as you can see in my console, the service worker is active and the registration has been succeeded with the scope of the root of my main project. Like this, I was able to handle any request go from this project to inside or outside my project. So let me go to the application and the cache storage, and here to the cache of the files. Here you can see every file has been cached in my project. This is the main important thing. Make sure that you have all your files cached in the cache storage of your application using the application tab on your DevTools. So what we need to do to make sure that our project is working offline good, we will navigate to the network tab and then first do a refresh to make sure that everything is working fine. We don't have any errors on our response in this place. If we have any error, it will be just marked with a red color and it will disable my project from working offline. So now I have everything working fine. All what I have to do is to just check that everything is working fine for me. Here you can see I have something in red, but it's not by me, it's from the Google markers. No need for. So here everything now is working fine. I will check the offline on the DevTools. Make sure to check for the offline here on your tab. Now I will go back to my home. Here you can see my home is working. Everything is on screen. No problem at all. Here I have just something failing. It's because the authentication of the Google Maps is down because of no connectivity. The service worker has failed, no problem. Now let me navigate while I am offline to the main restaurant. Here you can see I can navigate to the main restaurant and everything working offline. So that's it. Very simple. You have to scoop the service worker to be in the root of your directory. Everything will be working fine. You just have to handle the request sent from or to your project. So let me do something else. So this is now for the Google Maps project, and most of you is working on the leaf left project. So I will close this project for now. And go to open the second project we are working with using the leaf left project. Let me share with you my code. Here I am doing something else. I have done this project only for educational purpose, so everything here is just for education. And for more information, if you would like to extend your knowledge, here in this project I am using the main leaflet as our main project. In this project, I am not using Python to handle my project. I am using my Visual Studio Code live screen live project to handle my project. So I am not using the Python. So if you have any errors with the Python, no problem. You can use this plugin. Just go to the extension tab and search for live server. This one, it will help you so much to run live server editing on your page. It will give you something like this in your main page to make you run the page online. So all what you have to do is just press go live. It will be saying the server has started on board 5500. So I know that the Python run on server 8000. So what will happen if we run the server on a different port number? It's very simple. All we have to do is to go to our main JS files, open the DB helper. In the top of the page, you have the port defined here. All you have to do is to change the port number from 8000 to 5500, and then go to your web browser and navigate to localhost 5500. Okay, let me show you my browser. So here you can see I have different version of the project running on code. You can see here at the top of my page, it's running on board 500, 5000, 5500. I'm sorry. Now everything on screen, the maps and the images, everything is working fine. So this is it. Two ways to run the same project. One using the Python live server or using the extension on VS Code live server. Just make sure to change the DB helper port to make this project run on both ways. So like this, now we have done everything working for the online and offline of our project. So here in this application, I have done more interesting things than the first one. You can see when I press inspect, the design has been changed. When I press for audits and run the audit again, you will see that I have a bigger number of accessibility. Everything has been fixed. Everything now is working fine. I have 68 of accessibility. This is a good number for your project. Here you can see I have the image elements don't have the alt attribute, so I need to add this alt attribute to images. I left this like that, so you should know how you can solve your accessibility objects or problems on your project when using the audit tab like this. Now we have this project working. We are using the main filters. Everything we have is on our screen. So let us check for our network. Do like this. Here you can see everything is working. Going offline. First, let us make sure in application tab we have the cache storage. Let us see our cache. Here you can see everything has been cached in our application. So now we need to go to the view details page. Oops, it's not online. Let's make the service worker again online. Fresh. Now it's working. Back again, sorry. So press offline. Here in the offline now it's working. Everything is working fine. No problem at all. So like this, you can see I have made the both projects work offline with the bigger number of accessibility. Here in the audits tab, let me show you how we the number of this page of accessibility. We will just run the accessibility part here. I'm sorry, I forgot to get the remove the offline audits. Again, on the audit. I'm sorry. So as you can see here, I have the service worker. The accessibility number is very good. I have using the tab index. Everything is working fine. So now we have the post projects we do working online and offline. Everything is working fine. So what our main problems we have for this project? The first thing, some of you don't run project using live server. They just do that using opening, double click on the index.html and they waiting to load things on screen. This is not true. You need to make sure you are running a live server. You have two ways to run live server. One using Python, the second using the Chrome extension for live tools. If you would like to host this project on GitHub, what do I need to do? Okay, to host this project on GitHub, you have to do two main important things. The first one, let me show you the code what we need to be changed. Here, the first thing we need to change our request from localhost to our main GitHub pages link and remove the port all the address. So how it should be look like? Could be look like this. Muhammad uh, dot github.com backslash restaurant backslash data backslash restaurant.json. As an example, instead of using the main local host, you will use your GitHub pages and directory as the main file root. So this is the first part. What is the second part we need to do? For images to work on GitHub, you need to return the images back to the screen from this function. Let me check. Here we have a static image URL for restaurant. We have the image, but it don't have the root of the page. So all we have to do is to pass the dot before the part of the image. So now, like this project will be working such perfect on your local host and on your GitHub pages. Everything will be working on your main screens. So this is all the main problems we have seen for now for this project, and I hope that I could explain everything for you in details, and I hope that I have covered everything for you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me now on Slack. I will be answering all your questions on the channel of the P6 project. So everything we can handle on this page while we are working now. So for the map box, if you need to handle the map box for your project to work, all you will have to do, just open the main JS file, and here you will get the token you have taken from the leaf left map you have when you have logged in and assigned in with the project, and everything else will be shown on your project. So we need to put this token here in the main page and at the restaurant info, as each one of them is separate. So we need to have the post tokens on the first and the two pages to make our project run fine with no problem with the leaflet. If you are using the Google Maps, you will have to pass your token or your API key to the main page of your screen, same as the leaflet token. Here you can see on the commented part of the code. Here we initiate the Google Maps, but in the index, here you have to pass your Google Maps API key if you are using the Google API project, or if you are using the Leaflet project, you should pass it on the main JS and the restaurant JS. So this is the main way you can handle this project in three different things: responsive, accessibility, and for the offline first approach. I hope I was able to solve or answer all your problems and everything in your mind. I have gone through every part of the project step by step to help you achieve this project in a small time and very quickly. Again, I'm waiting for your questions on Slack channel 10 B6 restaurant. If you have any questions, just ask me there. I will be there now for like the next 10 minutes answering all your questions for the project. Hope hope that everything now working fine with you. Everything have been covered. See you in our next project. Have a good night and enjoy your time. See you. Goodbye.